Shalom, all praises to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles, elders, a great millstone, peace and safety to the elect, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, it's a Ratazah, and this video is going to be based off a quote, all right, that I have on my screen. It's from the book The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And the quote reads, "The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting." All right, and this is a quote that I came across a few weeks back, maybe about a month, and I always find myself going back to it to read it because it's pretty much, our stance in this truth, in this walk, man. All right. Which I got the scriptures already on deck, but the scriptures say what? That the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, all right. But this is a spiritual battle. It's a spiritual warfare, okay. We're spiritually going head to head with Satan, man. All right, in the physical arm of the spiritual demon Satan, being the so-called white man, Esau. All right, so spiritually we're going to war. All right, we're girded with with the spiritual armor. Okay, we have the truth, which is the sword. You know what I'm saying? And we're basically going to battle, man. And through the spirit, we're actually conquering Satan, man. Through the spirit. All right, through us. Pushing out the word, doing these videos, pushing out that righteous vibration. We're actually combating the spiritual demon Satan, man. And he's actually being subdued, all right? Matter of fact, let me just start it off with a scripture, all right? I'm going to start with Psalms chapter 45 in verse 3. It says, "Gird thy sword upon thy thigh, O most mighty, with thy glory and thy majesty." And through the spirit, that's what we're doing. All right, we're girding our swords upon our thighs, man. It's the sword being this truth, this word, man. All right, this is the actual weapon that we're using to fight and to combat Satan. All right, we're fighting the lies, we're fighting the we're fighting the false ideas, the false ideology of this world with this truth. And through the spirit, we're cutting it down, we're tearing it down, man. All right, it says what? Gird thy sword upon thy thigh, O most mighty, with thy glory and thy majesty. It says, and in thy majesty ride prosperously because of truth and meekness and righteousness. Yeah, so these are things that we're supposed to gird our spirits with, man. Is what? Truth, meekness, and righteousness. These are attributes, or these are elements, so to speak, that's gonna help us get through the battle, man. All right, truth, meekness, and righteousness, man. All right, and it's gonna go deeper when you go to Ephesians the 6th chapter. All right, where it speaks about the different armor that you're supposed to have on, spiritual armor. It says, let me read that again. It says, "And in thy majesty ride prosperously because of truth and meekness and righteousness. And thy right hand shall teach thee terrible things. Thine arrows are sharp in the heart of the king's enemies, whereby the people," it says, "Thine arrows are sharp in the heart of the king's enemies, whereby the people fall under thee." Meaning what? The enemies are being conquered, man. They're being destroyed. But it mentioned arrows. Spiritually, the arrows that we have, the arrows in our quiver, so to speak, is these precepts, man. This, this word, man. and through the spirit, we're piercing the heart of these devils, man, piercing the hearts of Satan's minions on the earth, man. Esau, the so-called white man, all right, and the other nations, man, all right, the so-called powers of this world, man. And it says what? Whereby the people fall under thee, man. So they've been actually the powers of this world are being subdued through the spirit. All right, and we haven't even laid a finger on them, man. It's all because why? We have this truth. We're girded with these swords, man. Now I want to get the definition of subdue because it mentioned that in the quote. All right, I have it already pulled up. It says subdue. It says to overcome, quieten. If I'm pronouncing that correctly, it says or bring under control. Some of the synonyms says what? Conquer, defeat, vanquish, overcome, crush. You see that? So through the spirit, we're conquering these devils, man. We're conquering the spiritual demon Satan through the spirit of YAHAWASHI, man. All right. So this is the mind frame of a soldier of YAHAWASHI supposed to have, man. All right. That we're going up against spiritual forces, man. And the only way we're going to defeat these spiritual forces or defeat these devils is through this truth, man. All right, that's why you got to stick to the doctrine, man. Don't venture off and start teaching madness, man. Because once you start doing that, that's how Satan gets the upper hand. That's how you get demons on you. Why? Because you basically dropped your shield and you dropped your sword on the battlefield, man. And that's how Satan could conquer you. All right, and we've seen plenty of examples of that, man. All right, so I'm gonna go from there. All right, that's it in Psalms 45, I believe. Yeah, let me go from there. Let me go to 2 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 3. All right, this is pretty much hits the point. All right, it says for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds. Right. So our weapons of our warfare are not carnal, meaning they're not physical weapons like Esau has, man. All right. We're not armed with guns and bullets and tanks and all that. We're armed with this word, with this truth, man. All right, we're armed with what? Righteousness, meekness, righteousness, faith. Okay, these are things that we have girded, man. Okay, and we're ready to do battle with Satan or the powers of this world, man. All right, and read that again. It says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds." Right? Yeah, the lies and the deception that are filled throughout this world, man. Through these weapons that we have, through this truth, we're actually tearing down the lies of the society, man. All right. It says what? Casting down imaginations, verse 5, and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the Most High. Right. So anything that's not of the truth, all right, or the knowledge of YAHAWASHI is being cast down and destroyed, man. All right. So we're spiritually on the battlefield. We are kicking ass, man, through the spirit. It says in bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach, man. All right. So yeah, in another word for obedience is what? To have subdued, man. Okay, going back to that quote. All right, you see that? So everything that's contrary to the gospel or contrary to the word is being subdued under YAHAWASHI through the prophets who are bringing out the truth, man. All right. So I think that's it on that. So yeah, let me go from there. Matter of fact, let me just get it real quick. Hebrews chapter 4. You know what I'm saying? Because it goes right with that about how this this battle is not a carnal battle, but it's a spiritual battle. And this word spiritually is like a sword, man. And it's cutting down the spirit of this society, man. It says what? It says Hebrews 4:12. For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and the joints and of the joints and marrow, and as a discerner of thoughts and intents of the heart. Right. So this Bible, man, it really cuts deep. It cuts deep into the spirit. All right. And when brothers go out there and prophesy on highways and byways, or whether brothers are doing videos such as this one, all right, whether it's on their phone or whatever, man, we're cutting right down the middle through the spirit of this world, man. This evil, wicked spirit. All right. And it says is what? It's sharper than any two-edged sword, man. All right. So we're better off girding ourselves with the spiritual sword rather than what? The physical sword, man. Because through the physical sword, we would perish. Okay, if we used to go head to head with the so-called white man, because the sword, or the physical sword, I should say, is his blessing. All right, but the spiritual sword, which is this truth, was only given to his men. All right, the prophets. Okay, so let me go from there. And this might be my last scripture. I think I might get something, but this might be my last scripture, Ephesians chapter 6. All right, just to end it on a strong point. It says Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. All right, and it's going to break down what the armor is, man. All right, as if you was going to war. The scriptures do say that we're soldiers of YAHAWASHI. So to be a soldier or a warrior, you have to have a particular armor, so you don't die on the battlefield, man. All right, it says what? Verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood. All right, and another word for wrestle is fight, man. All right, going back to the quote from the Art of War book by Sun Tzu, that we what? Subdue the enemy without fighting. So it says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So that's what we're up against, man. Spiritual wickedness in high places, man. All right, spiritual powers, demons, man. It says, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girded, or loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness. All right, just like we read back in Psalms 45, all right, where it says what? Through truth, meekness, and righteousness. Right? Verse 15, it says, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. So that's the point, man. You see that? Which is the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. So that's what we're fighting with, going against these oppositions of the Most High, man. These demons, Satan, and the so-called white man, man. All right, so that's pretty much what I want to bring out concerning this quote. All right, let's get around and doing the videos, and this is the war, man, spiritual war, man. So definitely, basically, you want to continue to have that armor on, man, that spiritual armor. All right. If there's any, how they say, if there's any chinks in your armor, man, you know, hey, you could very well, you can get injured or you can get killed, man. All right. So at the end of the day, man, stay in the spirit, and man, through the spirit, man, we're conquering this devil, man. All right. That's why he's pulling down YouTube videos and setting agendas to try to hinder the word from going out, but it ain't gonna work, man. All right, because the spirit of YAHAWASHI is going to reign supreme, man, in these last days. All right, so with that, all praise to YAHAWASHI, double honors to the apostles, elders, the great millstone. Until next time, shalom.